Alright, let's get started with today. We've got another OFCRA PvP mission. This one's going to be quite interesting. We're on Bohemia. I haven't seen this map in quite a few years. We did a few like Arma 3 DayZ style tournaments and some other fun little FNF matches years ago on this operation, but now it is a Greece versus Turkey operation. Let's go ahead and put the prediction up so you guys can bet with your channel points here. And just make sure we set this right. There we go. We'll go ahead and set it for 20 minutes, give or take. That should give you guys enough time to lock something in. Let me also tab out, deal with a few things. We are sitting at about 122 players, so a smaller OFCRA match today. But we'll see how things go. Nonetheless, we've got OFCRA spawning to the south, Blue 4 spawning on the western side of Bohemia here. We have a village, an agora, an outpost, and then we've got some planes and a truck back here under some of the Greek spawn points. We also have a debug carrier up there. I'm curious to see what that is about. But otherwise, we have a second carrier here, which is an OP4 spawn, and then we've got two forward position spawns for OP4. I've seen today that there are drones, there are planes, and there are some IFVs, but we'll do a breakdown when we get closer into the mission. But as we start, I'm going to go ahead and break down the points. So, common objectives: whoever has control of the village by the 30-minute mark will gain a point. Whoever has control of the agora at the 45-minute mark will gain 2 points, and then whoever has the outpost at the end of the game will gain 3 points. You got to remember, these are 90-minute matches here. Otherwise, Blue 4 also has to protect 2 planes and a fuel truck within the hour mark, and OP4 is trying to destroy those within the hour mark. Those are worth 3 points, 1 point per objective, so 3 points total. And then there's a survival bonus where you get extra points if you have more than 8 players alive on your side by the end of the game. That is worth 2 points, and that can help sway the victory here. But otherwise, this is a pretty standard OFCRA match, just one side versus the other. Some fancy little assets in here, and we'll see how things go. The wife is alright. I gotta take her to a spinal specialist tomorrow morning. Look, I'm gonna level with you guys. This week has been one fucking roller coaster. Tree hits the house Sunday night. Downs a street pole with live wires on the lawn, and the fire department comes, looks at it, and goes, you're fine, and then fucks off. Monday we had that funny DNS NTS DDoS that just absolutely brought the server down, so I'm just like, oh, okay, that's great. And then
Tree hits the house. I guess things are branching out.
That's a fuck you, Don. Damn. 62 months. Thank you, Don, for that resub. Hope you keep enjoying the ops. Thank you for everything you do for the channel, and I hope you had a nice kick out of this scenario. But yeah, Tuesday I wake up with just probably the worst type of depression I've had, and was kind of in bed for half the day, just going like, ugh, there goes my life. And then yesterday, Bloodwing kind of collapsed, and we had to take her to the ER and all that shit. So now we have to go figure out what's going on there. So it's like, yeah, let's see what crazy thing happens today, because it's so far something absolutely freaking annoying has happened every single day for this week, and I'm just like, great, cool, will I finally get a fucking reprieve today, or what's gonna happen next? So that's why there hasn't really been much going on. The only bright side I can look to is I've got tomorrow's upload set for the main channel. Main channel is also going to start uploading on Mondays, too. I'm going to try to do 2 uploads a week. The Friday will be the main Arma upload, and then Monday I'm going to experiment with some other stuff. But I'm still trying to front log everything. But I have a curse where whenever I get 1 week of both video content and Arma Ops front logged, something catastrophic happens. It happened last week with the server just outright dying. Well, not dying. It's because Ian didn't tell me about an issue with it until literally last minute. And then by then I couldn't fix it till like halfway through the week. And I'm just like, all right, fine, whatever. That's fine. And then this week it's just been nothing but dick punch after dick punch after dick punch. You know, it's Murphy's Law. Yeah, right? But that's alright. We'll bounce back, get things done, and keep going, because, well, what else can I fucking do? Pardon my French, I'm just sick of taking the L's here and there, but we'll see how things go. Well, yeah, this week has been painful. But, hey, let's move on for that. We're not here to listen to my woes. We're here to actually watch about 130 people eliminate each other in this fun little PvP match. Where winds meet? No, I have not. What's your potion recipes? What, is that like for cocktails, or what's the context there, Gondor? I know we do have a pay for pain on Saturday. I'm going to do a dev stream late tonight to show off on that. We have a lot we have to work on today, that's for damn sure. But it's going to be a 40k one with TOC, and we'll see how that goes. Cocktails? Yeah, by all means, Gondor, feel free to pass it on. I keep meaning to also send a recipe over to Dragon for some, like, sweet and sour Chinese thing. And it's just become a meme because I haven't had the time to pull it over, but maybe one day. There's a few small things that I have to catch up on, but who knows. Exactly, when you hit rock bottom, you can only climb up. But yeah, no, I'm sure something will... Yeah, actually, I don't freaking know anymore. Who knows? Maybe a car will veer off the road and hit our house at this rate. Let's see what the hell happens. Pull it up on Steam. It's a Wuxia-themed ARPG. I'll look into it. I don't know. The only thing I'm kind of looking at right now is there's a Homeworld game that came out that's VR, and I'm kind of sitting on my hands about it when I have some time, because right now I really just want to front log shit and then vary what I do, because I'm reaching my breaking point on a few things, but oh, it's not because of any one particular thing, it's just life. And right now I'm going to be stressed as I'm going to have to be the solo caretaker of the house again, because this has happened before, and yeah, the last time it lasted about a month and a half, so we'll see how busy I get. We'll see how things go. Secret, that's fair. I'd say for alcohol, people fall either on the liking things very sweet or very dry category. Most of the people I know fall under the sweet category, but I fall under the dry category, but it is what it is. Oh well. Because I'd like to do a little bit more variety streaming. There's a few other games I'd like to, you know, try, because we've had things on the docket, but it is what it is. It goes, Ian, it goes. How are you doing, broski? What games? I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. I've got a new plan for getting some things done, but we have to, unfortunately, get a little creative because of certain things, but it is what it is. I'll be honest, the two games I've been playing in the background have been Tarkov because of the, 1.0 release. Got some friends playing that because it's always the group of friends, they'll play it for, I want to say 3 or so weeks, and then we'll just won't touch it again. So if I want to, jump on and play with a few people I like, then I have to do it now. Otherwise, there's no doing it later. And then an old nostalgia game of mine, even though it's kind of dog shit, but BSGO, which is the old browser game from, God, 14 years ago, give or take? Yeah, Ian, I saw you shooting me messages about that. Let me know how that goes. Yes, I will be coming to POG tonight. I'm excited to see what you're cooking up, Angel. I already have... I'm trying to remember. I've got the previous Operation Your Zombie thing from last week. That's cut up. The VOD released, and then I'm having a highlight release on it Monday on the main channel. I think tomorrow the two videos that are releasing is a very old Vietnam 2023 MCO mission I was on the ground for because I felt like editing that this morning. That was back when Vix was actually not a bitch. But I got that all cut up to release on the side channel, and then on the main channel I'm releasing some collab stuff I had when I was Zeusing for Karma Cut back in 2023, because that is how old the backlog is. I've also been organizing what I'm going to be uploading between, or what I'm going to be editing in queue for the backlog as well as in the front log, so I can mix different things together. And then it's just going to be figuring out when I also want to blend in Daisy uploads and all that other stuff. But my goal is by the end of the year, I have most of that done, and then I start looking forward. I have seen an announcement for the new Stargate, and I'm gonna probably do a few Stargate-related things, but we'll see. I don't know, it's weird, because there's a few things I still want to do with Arma 3, but there's also a few things I want to do outside of Arma 3 to balance towards the YouTube algorithm, but we'll see how things play out. I just have to be very tactical where I put my time, because now for the next 2 months, give or take, time is not going to be on my side. But we'll see how things go.
She is a secondary.
Yes, there is a new Stargate show coming. What the fuck was that? Did you hear that fucking scream? What? Oh my god. Now, granted, Angel, it is coming out of, I think, Amazon, so hold your breath. Then again, Stargate always had some pretty good identity politics stuff, so it wouldn't really break the show. It's just I'm worried what they'll do, but... I mean, fucking Carter's character. It's not a reboot. I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited, but we'll see. Alright, anything from Amazon, like Netflix, I take with a grain of fucking salt at this point. But regardless, let's go ahead and get into today's mission here. So, we're going to go ahead and look at the Blue Force side, looking at their assets here. We got heavy hitters. I saw Twig King here. He's always one of the guys to watch. Same with Zixme, but Twig King, I'm going to be honest, has been completely outperforming Zixme recently. Greek HQ, so it's going to be Fawns commanding Blue 4. We have some some Stainers. So some man-pad launches here. They have a mortar with, it looks like, a bunch of HE shells. We've got multiple 113s, multiple transport trucks, some 939s, and that appears to be it. But already we got some pretty nice stuff for Blue 4. We also have a tank. This is the M60. I can't tell if it's the A1 or the A3 model. If Everick shows up, I'll quiz him on it. That was the Zeus remote control sound. We got some ATGM launchers, actually, and the multiple 50 cals to deploy. That is quite nice. Looking at Blue 4, we also see it looks like some red dots. And then we got some magnified optics on a few people. A little bit of gunshots going on here. Got some spare medical boxes and whatnot, but looks like they're being mainly given G3s. So 7.62 by 51 battle rifles to work with here. So pretty interesting call. And then you see some pit bulls on, looks like some of the marksman kits. You got some 203 launchers as well. And then we got some MGO scopes. So these are magnified optics for the FN mags. I think the MGO scope, though, it's rated for 249s and mini-me's. It's not rated for the ranging of 7.62 by 51. So we'll see if that, puts slightly out. But it's a machine gun. Just rely on where the tracers land. We also have an AT4 guy with a bolt-action 338. But if OP4 has body armor, he's not going to be... He might get knockouts, but he's not going to be able to one-tap people with that caliber. Otherwise, that's what we mainly have here. OP4, meanwhile, we've got Oddball commanding. Looks like they also have a mortar themselves. Interesting. Got NASA on that side. He's one of the admins for it. PHK and Rigel also playing, but looks like they're going to be in pilots. Zixme on reserve. Interesting. We're looking at OP4's side for the Turkish forces. We have some M2 MRAPs. And then some other transport trucks as well. Looking at their weaponry. Looks like we've got, what are these, HK-33s? But it's basically a, like an NP9 chassis, but it's chambered in 5.56. So we've got a mix of red dots, probably a few marksman rifles as well. We got some PKPs with some magnified optics on them as well. Those are, like 9, I can't remember the designation of that scope on the top of my head. We also have some pit bulls on some of those weapons as well. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a HK-33, but there's so many guns in the world, guys. I can't remember every single one all the time, especially when we're having like a Turkish versus Greece fight. We don't normally see stuff like that, so I don't remember every single designation. That one's easy, though. It's a Russian SVD with PSO scope. And it looks like that is it. I'm assuming that the squad leaders have... We got T5000 for the sniper as well, and then I did see that mortar as well. I'm assuming the squad leaders have some sort of GL capability, even though I'm not seeing it on anybody. So, might be a secondary 320 system, or they might just be SOL. No, wait, there's one. Yep, 203 launcher. All right, their second spawn is probably going to have armor and other... Oh, they've got 2 M60s. Oh, boy. You're saying Blue 4 has a plane. So, there are 2 plane static objectives here. They're Gripens, and then we have the fuel truck over here. But I didn't see any planes that Blue 4 is actually going to be using for the objective. I know Op 4 has planes, but I'm not seeing any Blue 4 planes. If we were to look, I have to find like a solo pilot, but I don't see one. So I don't think Blue 4 has a plane for this one. Op 4 has the plane. We have a helicopter in play, and then there's the plane. So it's going to be an M134 minigun and a 50 cal pylon on a T41, which is just the prop plane. And then Parthius has fallen. Okay, no, he's good. We have an air assault team, and they've got a 146 Griffin. Got some ordnance they can bring in, but these guys looks like they're just standard, just a standard rifle squad to deploy anywhere. So this helicopter, it can be used as a scouting asset. It does have that front camera, so it can do recon. But, I mean, we've got Stingers versus a prop plane and a Griffin. So it's not going to be too effective because Blue 4 can easily shoot those down. Otherwise, looking at the terrain, the village, this is going to be 1 point cash in at the 30-minute mark. We do have some nice fortified positions here, a mix of bunkers. Though these are 240 bunkers, so that's kind of interesting to see. They got 3 of these set up right here in static firing position. So they've got this area pretty well locked down, but the area itself is going to be this collection of buildings, these 2 collections of buildings, all the way up to... Actually, no, that is it. So this is the capture zone. So Blue 4, we do have a hill back here that they can work with. We also have some pretty nasty morning fog, but hitting the page up gets rid of it, so that's just for render distance. We have some amenities here if the player-based defending gets bored. Yep, tactical slide and the tactical spinner and the tactical seesaw too. But otherwise, a little bit of static guns in the middle, but it can be flanked from the direct south. Boscata, it's a really nice map, but you have a lot of really open areas here. But this is probably where the tanks are going to be superior. Then you have the Agora here, which is this blown-out amphitheater ruin here. Honestly, Blue 4's best defense is going to be on the hillside to cover the open areas around it, but they're going to be forced to have a few guys down in this position to utilize the cover here. They are thick walls, though, so it will be defensive. They just have to be mindful
Greece
of mortars
versus
and whatnot.
Turkey, also known as my stomach in a week.
Jesus, Spirited. Thanks to the 89-month resub, broski. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And then our final position is this outpost. Looks like we have some built-in 50 cal positions here. They're using the... Oh my gosh, what are these called? For the top cover, the sim is disabled on them, obviously, but it's crates. Cargo containers, that's the term I'm looking for. But we've got that as some walkway here. Nice 50 cal covering this open area here. And then we've got a lot of built-up HESCO positions, which is really nice. And they got it in all 4 directions, actually, with the rear one being a 240. But, okay, it also has a 50 cal as well. So I'm going to be honest, defender's advantage for this one. You got some olive tree... I don't think you want to call it a vineyard, because that's for wine. That's for, like, grapes and whatnot. But olive trees, what's a group of olive trees called? Does anyone in chat know? Can anyone do a quick Google search? But regardless, you got that for a little bit of cover coming in from the north, but... I mean, beyond that, everything else around here... Orchard, I guess, would be the proper term. You're right. Everything around here is a kill zone if they come in from the southeast or the northwest. You do have a little bit of terrain down here to work with from the immediate south, but... I mean, climbing up these rocks, you can get right on top of the perimeter, but it's very steep. But that could get you up here, throw some smokes, immediately charge in, avoid the machine gun spam. You also do have a really nice armor overwatch position right here. I mean, this is a really good spot, but that's a lot of area to cover here. Otherwise, Blue 4 and Op 4 deploying. Olive Grove would be another one, you're right. Alright, I'm just keeping my phone active as well in case Bloodwing needs me for something upstairs. Grills is unconscious. He just woke back up. Kevin is dead. Ah! I think I see the issue. You see, this shouldn't be on fire. No, I'm not calling it an Olive Garden. That has another connotation. So I think Blue 4's respawning everyone that just got blown up there, because, oh, yeah, that's a whole squad that's down. And that's kind of a big chunk of Blue 4's player base. So a little bit of a delay there on that insert. But we already have Blue 4 setting up to defend the Agora here. Honestly, Blue 4 might forego holding the village, instead maybe sending armor up to overwatch the area and see if they can get any pickoffs. And then we got forces immediately going to the outpost, because the village is only worth 1 point. It's not going to be worth that much. But otherwise, Agora and the outpost will probably be what Blue 4 defends. And then they should have a skeleton crew defending back here, because as long as Blue 4 can set up a proper defensive line right here, the only thing they have to worry about is the helicopter bringing forces around, land them on this side, and then that's only like a squad to worry about. So just, you know, have a squad defending the rear and have them ready to then pull into the outpost at the 60-minute mark. That's all they need. Blue 4 at 295,000 and Op 4 at 310,000. All right, fair bets, fair bets. But it looks like Op 4 is going to be sending a lot to try to go to the outpost early. That is the most valuable objective, so I don't disagree with that call. But, I mean, that's going to forego these 3 positions. These points are going to tie with that, and then you're just relying on potentially getting to the final objective. But if Op 4 were to take the outpost, then they can bypass whatever other Blue 4 defensive lines are set up here, and then also go up to this objective, destroy those 3 things, gain another 3 points. That would give Op 4 6 points, with Blue 4 only having 3 from these areas here. Whoever scores 6 points first would technically win. Can the Crop Duster hold passengers? The T-41, I don't think it can, because it doesn't have any crew compartment. We do have 2 seats right here, so technically I think it could hold 2 more people. I'm just not sure if they could dismount, because it looks like these chairs have to fold in. So I'm not sure Everett gave the opportunity for those guys to eject. I mean, they could do something funny and try to land and then take off, because you don't need a lot of runway room for a Crop Duster. You just need a relatively flat spot. You could land it on the beach. Yeah, righto, Dragon. Have fun over there. Enjoy your trip. I might get around to sending you a recipe. But enjoy your time, broski. Alright, so Blue 4's gotten all their guys respawned after that mishap. But based off of what I'm seeing right here, looks like Op 4 is going to put a little bit of pressure on the village, and then try to maneuver everything to the south, and then basically clear the outpost, leave a skeleton crew there, assault the plane objective, and then pull back and then hold that spot. Look at where Blue 4 is dividing their forces, though. It's a lot of forces around the Agora, which I'm a little concerned about, but that might be changing, because now that we've got these groups respawn, they might be heading down there instead. I'm hearing some mortar shells come in. All right, Foxtrot under attack. Grills, I don't know if he meant to be loaded on that, but it looks like the Op 4 element is mortaring the Agora position. It's a little to the north. We also have this machine gun bunker built up right here that is quite nice. Twig King's forces, though, looks like they didn't take any KIA from that, but they are being ordered to scatter. So that's going to continue to put pressure on that area there. Op 4's mortars, I think, is with command, but we see them slowly walking these shots in. Yeah, Dragon, it's just gonna be lengthy. We'll talk about it later, but it is what it is. I already touched on it earlier. Don't want to keep bringing the mood down. All right, so we do have a 50 cal 113 back here. They're going to try to play coverage on some of the assets here. We also have a Blue 4 group back here. These guys are going to be LZ watching for the 146 Griffin if it comes down and lands an Op 4 team on the rear, which honestly, that's its only play to do, so let's see how that goes. OFCRA still deploying their main force on the southern line. But again, you have this massive open area here. I think they're lucking out. Blue 4 doesn't want to send its armor to that southern Overwatch spot. But hey, Everick, you're here, buddy. Quick, is this an M60A1 or an M60A3? How do you tell the difference? Betting did happen earlier. Looks like this truck got cooked off by some additional mortar shots. No KIA, though, that I can see. These guys are controlling the mortar literally from their spawn point. If we were to have a look at their first person, they're firing more shots. Grills got knocked out again, funny enough. I heard there was potentially some drones in play, but I'm not seeing anyone with a drone terminal. I didn't see any drones get deployed either, so anything's possible at this rate. Based off of what I'm seeing right now, Dragon, I think OPFOR is in a better position to win. They got their entire force except a single squad coming down. They're going to basically blitz the outpost and then try to circumvent a big amount of Blue 4's elements here. OPFOR also sending a small group over to the village. They'll be able to get that free point as well. OPFOR is definitely set up better. The only hope Blue 4 has is if they can hold with half of their force, this massive force down here, but it looks like they're also receiving both tanks to support. I don't think this Blue 4 element has a chance. Maybe Blue 4 in a counterattack. Was that Sam on the Blue 4 tank? Yep, okay. Sam is one of the best, if not the best armor player in OFCRA. And he can single-handedly stop an entire assault if he's positioned properly. Usually he's paired with someone like Lolo that can do that positioning for him really well, but Jamera is also a pretty good armor player. So any of that could work. But this is just a wait and see. It looks like Grills is getting talked to by the admin, probably because he's lost, but looks like he's getting some direction. You gotta remember, OFCRA is a multi-community hub, but it's European, so they have a lot of different languages, so that might try to do everything, though. I think Sam is in good hands with Jamera either way, chat. Regardless, we have the 50 cal firing some long-range shots over at this squad down here. 50 cal can pen this thin wall and especially pen the windows, so you got these guys pulling back. They did take some damage, though, otherwise they wouldn't be doing medical. Got a little bit of blood going, so a few people got hit by that spray. And they're still going to be engaging. This is going to give prompting, though, for the tanks to start poking through this olive grove, or, fine, I'll say it, this olive garden, if you will, and start shelling the outpost position. But if OPFOR doesn't receive proper support from their mortars and their tanks, if they try to push through this open area, the 50 cal is going to completely pin them down. Because those M2 statics, I think, have either 1,000 or 1,500 rounds across either 10 or 15 100-round boxes. So he can spray all he wants. And they also are getting the second 50 cal lined up for that spot. And then we could also see defensive Blue 4 mortars start firing in that position as well. And I think that's exactly what we're going to potentially start seeing here. But we also have some mortars landing a little further back. Maybe OPFOR does have some sort of spotting element to spot those mortars. But also, the helicopter can be used as a spotting element for the drones as well, because it does have that camera on the 146 Griffin. So I think what's going to really change the game here is if Blue 4 starts mortaring these OPFOR positions before they can load up and deploy. Because if OPFOR gets pinned down in these open areas and Blue 4 actually coordinates their mortar, they are going to deliver so many casualties to OPFOR that they might not even have the manpower to take the outpost. So these next 10 minutes, in my honest opinion, are going to determine the game. And as I say that, all vehicles have been unlocked. So now we're going to start seeing stuff launching from the carrier here. Honestly, that was a 10-minute wait. I don't think this round needed a 10-minute wait for the air to deploy because they were already so far back, and it's not like it's a fighter jet, it's a crop duster, so they wouldn't spend that much time deploying out. But look at this. All right, we got some artillery now landing close to where some OPFOR is deployed on position Squad Papa here. It was a bit off, but it was enough to make them now pull away. So both sides have been having to fire ranging shots to figure out where they want to assault. OFCRA is going to get forces into the village in a moment. The olive reef. Yes, by all means, name what a group of olive trees are, chat. Give me some creative ones. I just heard a missile launch that was possibly onto the tank. Tank freaked out after hearing that. That was one of the AT spikes that Blue 4 has. I'm trying to see where the team potentially was that launched it. Might have been these guys. Yep, they have the backpacks and they're running back. They don't have kills recorded. We have some smokes deployed out here, so based on the fact that the crew is out, either one of the tanks got hit and they had to do some tactical repairs, or the AT missile missed, but it was enough to make these tanks pull back. This is good for Blue 4, though, because this is providing more stall to this line of forces here, which is giving Blue 4 more time to work on an artillery solution on where units are static. But again, what Blue 4 needs to do is get those kills. And we're still hearing that mortar pound a few positions here. That's the OFCRA mortar hitting stuff. I don't know where it landed. I didn't see the smoke come up. We do have another AT spike out here, covering this big open area. Not a bad position, though. It's going to be a little ineffective based off of where OFCRA's deployed their forces, but, I mean, Blue 4 don't have an omnipotent viewpoint here. So really good positioning. The tank is behind a bush at a really good angle to be in defilade. But the commander, he is out here. He's looking above the olive grove there to try to see if he can see anything specific. Dixby's going to be flying the crop duster, and we have the helicopter taking off. It is going to do exactly what we thought it would. It's going to land on the back line, but Blue 4 have an LZ. Watch your group ready for that. Okay, we're not calling it an olive or... The names you have chosen. Jesus freaking... Okay. Olive Reef, Olive Trove, School of Olives, an Oil of Olives, a Murder of Olives, and an Olive Orgy. Yeah, all right. Very creative. Yeah. Yeah, why not? A swash of olives, if you will. Oh my god. I do find it interesting. We do have a team of infantry over here just next to the village. I guess they're waiting there to potentially ambush any infantry that come up. An olive conspiracy or big olive. My god. But now we're in a bit of a lull. OFCRA, I mean, we do have the squad in the village, but these guys, they brought the mortar up closer, which implies to me that they are now going to open up with that artillery to basically hit the outpost. We do have a knockout here. And then Grills got killed on the road again? Thought he talked with the admin, but he died in the same place. So that's kind of weird, but it is what it is. But otherwise, no KIA there. OPFOR also not under any KIA. Hearing more shells landing. And I can't seem to determine where that is. Another RC. So OPFOR, what's concerning me a little bit is we have infantry coming up on this ridge. I'm going to be honest, they have to do a vehicle thunder run to get through this open area here. There is no walking down this ridge, going building to building, and then assaulting this position. There's too much 50 cal. Resistance up here, and there are Spike AT launchers up here. Like, it would be brutal if they try to go through that area on foot. All right, Blue Force sending infantry up here. We have more artillery landing somewhere in this OPFOR group. No KIA, though. Still ineffective. So Foxtrot trying to counterattack a force that is double their size and entrenched. This is probably not going to go too well. Damn, Dream. It's a pretty corny joke there, but still appreciate it nonetheless. I have no idea whose artillery that is. Judging from the fact I'm hearing shells landing back here, I'm assuming that's Blue 4's then, because we have some landing all the way back here. Both mortar gunners seem to be way off course here. I'm hearing it over here. I just can't hear the crater. Or I can't see the crater. I would assume maybe it is OPFOR trying to counter battery Blue 4's position, and Blue 4's artillery is just way off.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
I don't know if they're blind.
Are the RD boys blind?
Start another Spike AT launch. And an impact. Tanks are pursuing on either way. Maybe the impact was on the infantry down here. We have another missile. Miss! Swings around. Makes these infantry run. I would not be wasting that AT, though, on infantry, though. You need to keep it for the fact that there's two tanks here. Rixu's tank spots some infantry in the tower and starts engaging. You're now going to potentially start seeing, yep, the infantry are starting to move down these areas despite how suicidal that may be. But the tanks are dialed in and they're starting to take out infantry on these towers here. We need to see the Blue 4 armor now move south to assist this position. Meanwhile, the 146 Griffin has deployed. They are moving on the southern side. They could try to rear attack that outpost as well. OPFOR could have been waiting for that squad to be deployed, and now you got the Griffin kind of swinging around. It might try to now do some spotting for these elements here, but these guys did not hear that LZ or that force come down. They've also been hurting themselves. Okay. Little weird, but it is what it is. Spike AT deployed. We have another missile launch. They are trying to engage Victor all the way back there. Miss. But one tank is taken out by the Spike AT launcher. That was Gerald that got that first kill. He was going for the second. Tank pulls back now. OPFOR now are lacking support because they know if they bring the tanks up, they're going to get hit by those Spike AT weapons. Got the Griffin coming over here. That might freak out some of the infantry and make them think they're doing a landing just below them. You see them quickly getting on the statics, though. Soviet olive bureaucracy. The oligarchs have controlled Democratic Olive Republic. Good God. Emperor of Olives. I do like the olive oligarchy go. That's pretty good. So with that, Blue 4 now lack support to overwatch an infantry push here. OPFOR is going to have to switch to using their vehicles to push. It's going to be risky. You might take casualties, but sucks to suck. If you really wanted to reposition, though, load up infantry in there and then start deploying them on the flank. And then go for this and then go to the outpost. Looks like Foxtrot did try to push this position, but they ended up pulling away because OPFOR had decisive control of the village. So OPFOR is going to get the first point of the match with that. OPFOR moved positions a little bit. You still have mortars landing around their position, though, so that inclines to me OPFOR is trying to find where the mortars are. Blue 4, meanwhile, I still don't know what they're targeting, but from what I can see, it hasn't been that effective. We've only seen a tank go down to the ATGM launchers. I agree, OPFOR is not being aggressive enough to make this work. and that's just going to cause them to get pinned down in this area. We might also see them switch plans here. If they're getting more success in the village, what they might do is they might try to bypass the outpost, instead swing up north, and then take the Agora, and then hit the plain area there. And that would give them the necessary 6 points to win. But Blue 4, they have their forces pretty evenly spread out here. So they're just going to run into the tank as well as the other ATGM launcher there. More mortars landing aside. Some 50 cal just blindly spraying in that position. But it's going to be a bit of a slow game here. That smoke is where a tank was. We had the AGM team over, or ATGM team, excuse me, over here get the kill. As you can see, they've got 3 infantry kills and 1 tank kill. That was one of the M60s that OFCRA had. I'm going to be honest, though. I don't see them with the static backpacks anymore, and I don't see them near their launcher, so I think they're out of AT. The other launcher, I think, has 2 missiles left, because I think each one comes with two missiles. Well, it looks like, okay, these guys are breaking away. They were trying to get into the trees here. Now they're going to be moving in along the rear. Funny enough, though, this is where Blue 4 Command is, though. This is an entire command entourage. Kind of funky that he has the sniper back here with him, but it is what it is. They also have the one of the SAM launchers, so that explains why they're moving around this area here. But if OPFOR can eliminate command for Blue 4, that is going to give OPFOR a pretty significant advantage, because Blue 4 has this entire battle line they're trying to coordinate. There is a 2IC, though, but he is managing the mortar, so he might be ill-equipped to handle both the mortar and the entire platoon. This is going to be our first direct firefight here, because OPFOR are moving right into where Blue 4's line is. OPFOR is a little separated, but this does open the door for this group to turn into a maneuver team, then try to flank this defensive group. But look where Blue 4 is as well. They've got their own elements that could turn into maneuvering forces. This could really go either way, but it looks like it's going to be Bluck and Roofy spotting each other first. I think Bluck spot... Nope. Roofy gets him. Bluck tries to pull away. Grenade gets thrown on both sides, but it smokes, followed by a frag. Frag's getting caught in the trees. These next moments are critical. This team needs to now come in and try to do a flank in action. These guys also need to come around and try to do a flank. Fawn's coming around trying to do a flank on his own. Very bold as the commander to pull something like that. 50 cal firing at the chopper over there to see if there's any defensives on the airfield itself. Fawn's doing a potential very wide flank here as his forces hold the line. Demovar tries to come in to do a flank. He's going to run into Bursty and Ryan Chance. Goes prone, pulls his gun. Demovar's going to spot Bursty first. No, actually spots Ryan. Oh, but Bursty looks left, gets a nice shot on Demovar, and we see the stopping power of these G3A3s there with that 762x51. But if you look, Blue 4 has taken a few casualties as well. Roofy went down, and OPFOR now pushing forward. But now you've got Blue 4 trying to open up the flanking actions there. So Bluck gets headshotted, Dan gets knocked unconscious. Fawn's still trying to flank around, though he's got some pretty tough players here like Shay that know how to conceal themselves. So with that, I mean, OPFOR, we still have 2 guys on the rear that just are not committing. Fawn spots Shay in the bush, takes him out, and now OPFOR is going to be very confused where hostile forces are coming from. Blue 4 now gaining the numbers advantage. Tackleberry just DM'd me calling out what an effing wanker. I don't know if he was part of the tank crew there, but damn. The salt in OFCRA goes hard. But look, we see a lot of forces. They're now pulling back. A few guys stayed in front, but they might now be trying to use the village as a springboard to then go to the Agora and then hit this asset over here. And then you got the Griffin playing chicken with that vehicle there. And the Crop Duster still just kind of loitering to the south. Meanwhile, Bursty, these guys got another kill. Goatland moves up. He's on the rear of multiple guys. Spots T. Seems to be super confused if they're friendly or not, and he gets taken out. That's unfortunate. I just heard metal impact of one of the 50 cal bullets hitting the 146 there. And I did hear a long-range missile launch as well. That immediately makes me want to check on the tanks. Looking back over here, we got one guy uncon in the vehicle there. Another guy uncon there. Q-Boyd got killed, but he's part of this rear firefight there. So I guess he was in the wrong group. Hold on, is Fawn's about to find Parthius there? Yes, he does. You saw that whip around. Fawn said something to him. And then immediately mag dumps him. And you're just seeing the power of that higher caliber going. And the... I think that was Fawn's with his stinger. He finds the firing solution on PHK, who immediately goes for a dive. There's no recovering from that. He's dead. Okay, I was about to say, because he actually got out and ragdolled, he would have woken up and been fine. But no, he ends up getting squished by his own helicopter. He timed the dismount perfectly. Unfortunately, the ragdoll god decided to put him under his chopper and blow him up. Oh. Arma's not falling for his BS. It's self-corrective. Now you've got the blue 4M60 firing. Already up a kill. With the 50 cal turret, that's probably got one of the kills in the group of infantry. But looking at the skulls, we know Grills has been down for a while. Roofy and Ryan Chance died in that rear firefight. Jumpshot got killed, and it looks like a vehicle is down back here. That might be the other tank. That is the other tank. So, Op4 have lost both of their M60s. And now Blue 4's M60 can pretty much fight with impunity because Op4 doesn't have any other AT solutions here. The plane doesn't also have any AT. So, this is pretty bad for Op4 because now they don't have any spearheading elements other than the mortar. But the mortar has proven pretty ineffective. So, like I said, you know, roughly 10 minutes ago, these 10 minutes are going to determine who wins this fight, and I think this is now a pretty solid Blue 4 victory. So you've got Jameer in the commander's seat. He's on the 50 cal picking people off. Sam's on the primary gun. I don't know where he got that -1 from. He might have run over Grills earlier. Because I did see him die, but yeah. I don't see how Op4 can get ahead in this area. We also have Zixme. What is he doing? So this is how you get Sammed, a.k.a. man-padded or stingered. There's a lot of terms for getting shot down by AA. Now, who still has one? I think Fonz does. So let's look at Fonz's POV. We hear the plane. What does Fonz do? Does he look to his left and see it? No. No, he does not. The plane is still coming in. Nope. Fonz heard it this time. Oh, he's not the one that gets it. Does Zixme flare it off? Nope. And he is literally blown out of the sky. Okay. Yeah. I'm assuming that was T that got it because he has the actual vehicle kill. And just like that, all of Op4's air support is gone. Also, I was lying to you. The T-41 does not have flares. So, now you're probably wondering, how does Op4 get their infantry across this open area to get to the objectives? The answer is simple. They don't. Only in small little teams like this, but they're not going to be able to fight the entire garrison by themselves. Alright, 30 minutes have gone by. Op4 took control of the village. They officially have 1 point on the board. And I shit you not, that is probably the only point Op4 is going to get, except maybe the survival bonus by the end of the game where you get 2 bonus points for having at least 8 people alive, but that is going to be canceled out by Blue 4 getting that because, well, at this point we're starting to see the number advantage stack up. Every other element at full strength. Now OFCRA starting to go over the hilltop. That tank round takes somebody out. That tank round also takes somebody out. Funny enough, that was the AT guy. Oh, looks like Sam finally misses one. Yeah, Zixme, I disagree. I think OFCRA should have been given something like an AGM to you know, help counter with Blue 4's tanks the same way Blue 4 countered theirs, but yeah. I think we all learn. But that's Zixme's opinion. Now, you gotta remember, Zixme did just get shot down by an AA missile, so he might be a little salty. Just a little. Maybe moderately seasoned. This tank is desperately trying to kill these 3 infantry, though. But it looks like the defilade just isn't going to work with them here. But he has them effectively pinned. Oh! 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 Never mind. Yeah, that little rock wall wasn't able to... Yeah. Never mind. Never mind. That was... Yeah. So, now you're probably wondering, how is OPFOR going to get to this next objective when you have an M60A3 overwatching? And the answer is... you don't. You don't. You don't. Yeah, especially when it's Sam and Chimera in a tank. I love how all the kills that Sam is getting in the primary gunner seat are going to Chimera, though. That's the funny thing. Ah, man. How are these two doing? Oh, okay. Well, one of them is dead. The other one is now crawling around. Because the Blue 4 garrison spotted them and killed them. Yeah. There goes that man's face. Alright, Kaiser moving in. OPFOR bringing in unwrap. Blue 4 feeling pretty confident. They're sending a 113 in the back line. They might try to go hunt for OPFOR's mortar, but I think OPFOR's out of mortar ammo at this point. Mortars, unfortunately, were just not really effective today. Like, the first rounds of shots were fine, and then the rest just kind of missed. For the record, for Chad and what Zixme are saying, I'm on no one's side there. Y'all can duke it out if you want, but it's the internet. Everyone's going to have a funny opinion. You got Pingus right here. Oh, he's running for it. Oh, is he going to make it? Oh, he's not spotted. Oh, wait, no. The tank's repositioning to a higher elevation so it can see more. All right, I believe in Pingus here. I bet he can make it. He is triple timing it to these rocks. Ooh, Zixme fires back. I should get the popcorn. Actually, I do have popcorn upstairs, but no way to pop it at the moment. All right. Pingus has made it. He is ready to report to this other... Oh, no, these are the rest of his squad mates. Look at that. Look, you got to remember, though, I am married to a Greek, and, you know, she does have ties to the Greek embassy. So if the Turkish were winning this fight, I'd probably have a gun up to my head right now. And I have to go, wow, this totally does not represent real life or anything. Thankfully, it's not the case. Glory to Gristoska. Oh. What are you shooting at now? Is it the MRAP back here? Uh-oh. Oh. There goes the truck. You guys think an MRAP is rated for an M60's main gun? There's 2 MRAPs. They'll be fine, right? It means mine-resistant, ambush-protected. So, you know, an ambushing tank round, maybe the driver will just raise his hand up and say no, and then the tank shell will just, like, stop in front of the MRAP and then fall down, you know, like Matrix style. And there's still a squad over here trying to figure this out. Wait, Grills went to OFCRA? Wait a second. Wait a minute. Ah, I see. So OFCRA had a sneaky spy that mastered the Blue 4 battle plan. And then OFCRA got overcomplicated by Blue 4's battle plan. Maybe Grills is a double agent. Maybe he fed OFCRA the wrong battle plan on purpose. That's why OFCRA's suffering. It's spy versus spy, but he's also the same person. Who knows? All I know is, let me ask you guys a question. I love how they're getting on the 50 cals here, too. They're just looking away. It's rear security, I guess. You guys like those videos where they're completely one-sided fights? Like a guy coming up to a baby, taking the lollipop, and then, you know, other things happen that are usually not Twitch or YouTube appropriate. You like those one-sided fights, right? Are you guys ready for another one-sided fight? It may not look like it right now, but this has now become very, very one-sided. Yeah, I'm not gonna test it though, Cal. You never want to mess with Twitch TOS. They don't even know what they're doing anymore because now Twitch is promoting gambling, but you as a streamer are not allowed to promote gambling. It's so weird. It's so backwards. I don't trust Twitch TOS to save my life because they don't even get their own TOS right. You know. Oh, man. It is what it is, right? Oh, yeah. The FNF match where Falcon was too good on the mortar and he literally killed, like, half of the FNF side. And then they banned mortar use because Falcon was just too good. Yeah. Alright, LesDX started firing, but he's got literally 3 machine gun bunkers here that are going to immediately shoot back at him. So, they're drawing fire. Now, how is OFCRA going to capitalize on having this infantry group pinned down in the tank's attention? Oh wow, even some AT went up here. And they immediately got off the hill, realizing, hey, maybe we shouldn't poke the bear. We still have Mr. Cool and Noobass back here. I mean, maybe they could sneak in. How are they going to blow the planes up? No idea, but maybe someone back there has explosive charges or AT, and they could, like, use it to get a kill or two. You never know. Hold up, I just saw a long-range flash here. These guys are looking in the back. They're looking for OFCRA HQ. They're going to try to decapitate the head off of the snake here and just let the rest of the infantry flounder around. Speaking of floundering, though, OFCRA are still here, and there doesn't seem to be a plan. And this is critical because there's about 10 minutes remaining before the, what is it called again? The Agora gets cashed in. And then you're going to see some forces just move back and stop any hope of those that two-man team from taking out that position. They're digging. They are all working together. They're engineers now. They're going to dig a trench line up to the position. I appreciate the teamwork among these men, though. They now have a second defensive trench. Oh, God. Yeah, the OFCRA match that was China versus Pakistan. God, so this was about, I want to say, what, 5 or 6 months ago? It was on northern Pakistan, and the Chinese players just absolutely bulldozed the Pakistani side. And there was no overpowered assets or anything on one side or the other. It was just at the infantry level, the Chinese side just utterly annihilated the Pakistani forces. It was either Pakistani or local militia. But it was just like a 60-minute bully session. And the Chinese players got so aggressive that they started team killing each other because they ran out of enemies to fight. So they got super jumpy and started shooting at each other. And I think there were more casualties to red on red than what the local forces inflicted on the Chinese forces. Like, that's how one-sided it was. For no particular reason. It was just one side was just bad. But there were at least 10 or 20 KIA to friendly fire. It was nuts. They're still shooting AT up here. I love how they keep missing, and this is like the second or third time they've hit this building back here. Oh, they're still getting suppressed. But, like, what can OPFOR do at this point, you know? The only thing they could do is potentially get on the vehicles and then drive all the way around on the low ground here and then bypass this defense line and then hit it from the south. Now, are they going to do that? No. Yeah, and you still have this 113 driving around. They're still looking for where OPFOR might be. And then you got the two OPFOR here. They're going to move in on foot, but even then, they lack the AT to develop the AO properly. Now I'm hearing the tank shoot again. Ah, because there's some QRF coming up here. They're like, hey guys, how's the front? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now, I'm not going to do this, but I could probably pay this out to Blue 4 winning, and there's a less than 1% chance I'd be wrong. Anyway, how's everyone's Thursday? We will have a POG stream tonight. Tomorrow, we've got multiple uploads happening on multiple channels, and yeah, we're just watching a pretty nasty bully session here. Even Blue 4 infantry are counterattacking because they're bored. Like, yeah. And then as soon as they try to counter, they get basically struck down by overwatching elements. What's really funny is Layden actually talked to me before the mission. He's like, hey, I hope I give you some good content to watch. And I'm like, yeah, you've dug a defensive position here, and now I'm going to watch you get murdered by a tank. Good luck, buddy. I believe in you. Hey, sometimes Pussy Slayer here. Sometimes he slays, and sometimes he gets slayed. What a shame. I do appreciate OPFOR trying to drag people back a little bit to do medical. They got the MRAP standing by. That thing, if it pushes up too far, is going to get annihilated. Squall tries to do medical and immediately dodges 50 cal fire. Hey, grumpy old vet. How you doing, broski? There's the 45-minute mark cashed in for Blue 4, so score is now 2-1. 15 more minutes will pass, and we'll see if these two OPFOR players can actually successfully sneak in. I mean, granted, Blue 4 does not think there's a rear attack here. We do have one stick of AT on this guy. That will be enough to destroy one of the vehicles. Clearly, this Blue 4 team is in desperate need of something to do, because it looks like they're playing sandbag Jenga. Sandbag Jenga, it's one of those various games that you play when you're bored as shit because there's nothing to do. But every time, it's different than normal Jenga. Sandbag Jenga is when you start stacking sandbags on top, and then you see if that can cause the tower to get knocked over. So instead of removing pieces, you're adding them. Ooh! All right, Wilkie here, he almost lost the game of Sandbag Jenga, but this tower is now incredibly unstable. Whoever places the next sandbag, we'll see how things go. AGB in the house. How is Peeps doing, Grumpy? Oh, it looks like the AGB command isn't working anymore. All right, I got to fix that. We still have the little plaque below, but yeah, no, the bot has been a little cranky these past few weeks, for lack of a better term. Oh, okay, no, they immediately mounted up. Looks like someone... I think these guys heard them talking. Nubass, get a grenade up there, please. This 50 cal is going to come around and bully the shit out of these guys. Yeah. Yeah. I think one of them was on yelling and these two turned around and heard them, because if they were on whisper, they wouldn't have heard them, but okay. All right. Blue 4 sending another team up here to attack this Op 4 line. You have a 50... Wrong button. You have the 113 back here that is now doing harassment on these forces. They're literally walking in ATGM spike launchers on the remaining Op 4 garrison tier. Up here, you got Fleesh also on con. I mean, this is a slaughter. Yeah, I feel that, Grumpy. I gotta chill with Peeps again. It's been a hot second. Been busy with too many other things going on. But that's life, right? Ay, ay, ay. Wow, so Blue 4 even had a freaking Moz team. Blue 4 came up on the southern side, started bulldozing this Op 4 line. Op 4 trying to get their forces in, but it's just not enough. I can't tell if there's an AT launch onto this vehicle or not. But you see, Blue 4 is just doing cleanup at this point. You got a flanking team coming up on these guys here. I think the MRAP just got sniped by the tank because it went into the kill zone. Yep, Delta's right there. That is the tank asset. They've got 3 vehicle kills and a combined total of 13 units because Sam was at a -1. So once again, that armored asset that Sam is a part of has gone double digits for kills here. And righto, Grumpy, I appreciate it, broski. Again, I need to step up and hang out more and kick with Peeps and all y'all, but just need a little bit of time because IRL has been very unhappy with me these past few weeks. All right, Cam Red leading a 3-man team up here. Yeah, every time Sam goes into a tank, they go double digits. Solomon getting a grenade throw in here. Layden trying to provide some covering fire. Now you got Blue 4 assaulting this area. Gouliat trying to respond. Knocks Destroyer to his feet. That's a great grenade. That's going to get Gouliat as he backs into it. His grenade, it's only a smoke, so it's not going to get Destroyer. Jasper gets knocked out. Solomon freaks out and shoots his own guys. Cameron gets that kill. Solomon might have noticed Cameron was a friendly there. And all of Op 4 are down, and Solomon was able to knock out multiple Blue 4. So Solomon was more effective there. Solomon was more effective there for Op 4. rather than his own team. Let's give a hand to Solomon, guys. Come on. He's still going. Okay, no, he's double tapping. Okay, all right. Did you get him, Solomon? Let me guess. You're at 0 because you've killed friendlies and enemies at the same time. Awesome. Great trading, guys. Great trading. Blue 4 pulled back on this southern group. That's making Op4 rout a little bit. This central line has taken out a majority of Op4 here. So it's Fonz's team. Now they're picking off more Op4 that they can find. Managed to find a pit bull site, so he's picking off Op4 here. Fonz gets hit twice, but he pulls away. Got TB Uncon there as well. This is a PvP match commentary, Grumpy, so I do this on Thursdays and Fridays for 2 separate communities, and then once in a while on the weekend for various other communities. But this is just one of 3 of the major things I do. It's either this or running the mission myself, which is called Zeusing or Game Mastering, and then playing on the ground, which is the standard way to do this stuff. But that'll be later tonight in about 3.5 hours. Which the Game Master is going to be Angel, who's in chat, Archangel there, and I don't know if we're continuing that zombie stuff or if he's got something else planned. But at this point, the match is pretty much over. Yes, I like to commentate. Alright, you see these guys are just kind of spraying into this village here. They don't know where exactly targets are. You do have one element of pop here, Lolo. This is OFCRA Lolo, not Lolo _, which is our Lolo. 2 different players. But he has gotten a kill. He is trying to pick off some additional Blue 4 elements over here. Actually, I see a lack of Blue 4 command. Lolo killed Fonz. Alright, so Blue 4 no longer has a commander, but at the same time, I don't think that matters because Blue 4 has the AOs that they need to score point lockdown. But yeah, I've been doing Arma 3 commentary since 2019, I think? So yeah, it's been about 6 years. Asano gets walked up on and eliminated by Arthik there, and yeah. This group's going to get wrapped up over here. We got one team still back there as well. Some AT just came in. Minimally effective, though, probably hitting buildings to route some of Op4 over here. These guys, I mean, they're just going to be stuck on this position. Blue 4 is going to more than likely continue the counterattack. And then, yeah. This does really remind me of that Chinese-Pakistani match. It's just that one was so unique because there was so much red on red, but there was still a little bit of fighting back, but this one, compared to that one, it's very close. Yeah, Grumpy, hit me up. I haven't had the opportunity in my schedule before, but I'm more than happy to do it. Actually, no. Way back when. What was that game called? There was another game I did a little bit of commentary for. It was an indie project, but didn't really go anywhere because it never took off. I did commentary for them, and then VTOL VR, also a little bit of commentary, but this was a while ago. All right, Gazog here. Hold on. He's getting in a position here. Are you telling me Henry just 180'd him and then bolt? Oh, with the bolt action, too. Gazog missed all of his shots. Hold on, he's now taking fire from Op4 HQ. He's not going to be able to 180 that shot there. Tries to put some smoke up. But yeah, Grumpy, hit me up in DMs. I'm glad to work something out with you. It just has to line up with my schedule, but I'm more than happy to clear the road for something unique. Battlefield 6 Red Sec matches. Yeah. I'm assuming it's objective-based, multi-life, that sort of thing. Yeah, more than happy to do it. All right, 3 shots go into him. Henry, funny enough, misses 2 of them and then finally gets him on the 3rd, but I guess Gazog has to be alive to actually get hit there. And oh, okay, we actually have Op4 doing a Thunder Run. And hey, you know what's really funny, guys? They weren't attacked. They just went on the coast, used the low grounds, and managed to bypass any Blue 4 defense. That was one of the things Op4 should have done in the first place, but they didn't, so oof. Now you got OFCRA crawling up to here, not realizing that their rear is entirely taken. Mr. White gets the kill with one hand as he's on the radio. And is immediately blown away by Grills, the double agent. We call him the double agent. Because there he is dead on Blue 4. So he knew Blue 4 was back there the entire time. I agree, Battlefield is definitely going to... Actually, it is killing COD if you compare the Battlefield, what was it, 7 and... no, Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty 7. But yeah, hit me up, broski. More than happy to commentate. Wow, Rizbo misses most of those shots. Grills gets him in a small spray there. Abe also gets him. So, OPFOR trying to resist where they can, but it's not enough at this point. Blue 4 at least have a 2-to-1 number advantage. You guys have 3.5 minutes, and you're trying to blitz it to the airfield to get those points. That's very ballsy, but at this point, desperate times call for desperate measures. But that MRAP, it's very heavy, so it's not going to have the speed to get up to this position. They've got no choice but to charge right up to it, and that might give Blue 4 time to... some rally a defense. But Blue 4 is definitely playing a new game of sandbag Jenga. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this seems to be the most important part of the match at this point. Now they're trying to just build a sandbag wall. But no one's... Oh, wait, nope. They just got the order to get in the 113 because they know the MRAP's coming. The guys up here should have an AT4. If not... Oh, here it is. Oh, now they're driving in front of the 113. 113's going to charge him. AT misses. MRAP swings around. Guy gets knocked out. Walls get dismounted. We got the AT4 prepped. One hit. 113 charges in. Damn, Daniel. Guy in the shotgun seat's like, nah, I'm good. Guy in the back, nah, I'm also good. We don't need to be in. We don't need to go out there, right? Oh. Nicholas gets out, but he doesn't even have his gun out. He has his binos. Yeah. If there was any description of this match, this would be it. And I assume this guy in here is still talking. Yeah, it's Gamble. He's probably just saying, hey, how you doing? They're trying to shoot him through the top. This is literally shooting fish in a barrel now. And someone shot through the broken glass and managed to get him, and that's everyone dead there. Can't get it selected. Gamble's still unconscious in there, so they might pull his body out and double tap him. And, yeah, Betacano also uncon. Meanwhile, looking at some of the remaining OPFOR here, NASA was uncon. They're getting picked off by some Blue 4 here. You've got Alb trying to medic Grills up here. Blue 4 have completely counterattacked this village. And that is pretty much all of OPFOR down. This game is over. This game is 100% over. It is cooked. Pretty GG here. But, all right, guys, we have another operation in... I might have lied and said 4.5. It's actually in 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's 4:15 right now. There is the 1 hour objective completed. That gives Blue 4 5 points. OPFOR only has 1. OPFOR does not have more than 8 people to get those 2 points for the survival bonus. So they cannot win this match anymore. It's game set here. I'm going to wrap it up here. I got to make dinner for my wife. I have to take her to the spine specialist tomorrow because of all the shenanigans that happened yesterday. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for watching. go operate operationally. We'll be back in 3 hours and 15 for some on-the-ground shenanigans, Zeused by Archangel. Otherwise, cheers, guys, and have a good one.